is 30th of December. Okay, 30th of December dekat NTV7. Here you can see it, NTV7. Okay, I put a highlight here. Okay, NTV7. Okay, NTV7 here. And then you have at 30 hari bulan, 10 o'clock in the morning. Then we will be discussing of paper 1, maths paper 1. And then 31st, the same timing, 10 o'clock in the morning. So it's of paper 2. So you enter there and see how I kelentong lah for your paper. Make your life easy. Okay, now let's continue with our paper. With our, this one, those who just joined. Okay, there are 13 of you. So any one of you that you didn't join yesterday, or Reno Chong. Yus, dia budak kita ke budak Chongwa
Tak kenal pula.
Okay, tak kenal dia orang
kan,
budak Chongwa.
Puan kan punya ni bergema.
Bergema lah. Okay, kejap. I tengok. Kejap. Dah okay. Okay dah. Okay.
Okay.
So dah pandai adjust dah sekarang. Okay, so ini adalah just this is misi 60 hari menjelang SPM on NTV7 every day. Started last 20th if I'm not mistaken, 21st. Okay, sampai ke 1st January kot. I can't remember the timetable. Setiap hari ada subjek dia. Okay, those who just came in, I just buat sekali lagi. This is we are having this slot for additional mathematics. 1 day, 1 hour, 1 topic. Yesterday we did our function. Now today we are going into the second topic. So here I'm going to present. This is our mission of 18 days. So 18 hours only to cover all the topics, except part C. So 1 day, 1 hour, 1 topic. Time 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. 1 hour. So this is the schedule. If yesterday you didn't manage to snap the schedule, so I do hope that you screenshot the schedule, right? So today is 29th of December. This is today's. Okay, this is today. So we are going into persamaan quadratic. So one question only we are going to discuss. But after that, I'll be discussing a few hot questions with you. Okay. Then this is the following another nice lot. Okay, from session 10 to 18. Okay, I might end our slot on the 17th, right? End my slot at the 17th, means that it's on the 15th of January. Okay, it depends on your attendance. Okay, now let's continue today. Sila isi kehadiran Okay, ambil dari bahagian atas dan share the kehadiran untuk you isikan. Alright, then today we are going into quadratic equation, 29th of December 2020 Tuesday. Okay, let's start our slot now. Okay, tiba-tiba dia jadi besar. Okay, let's go into this. Okay, now given the quadratic equation, this is the given one. Let's look into this question. Given the quadratic equation, diberi persamaan quadratic equation, this is the given. Given quadratic equation, this is the one given to you. Okay, then it says express x in terms of k. Ungkapkan x dalam sebutan k. Remember, this is a very famous, okay, terms that maths is going. They ask either in MX or maths. So x in terms of k, x in terms of a, x in terms of m, whatever. So means that the first letter here expressed, this will be the subject. Then comes into blah, blah, blah. And the subject, remember, the coefficient should be 1. Okay, so you understand the question first. That is part A. Part B, express K in terms of M. Express K in terms of M. For part B, they want you to make K as the subject in terms of whatever must be in terms of M. When 2 and M are the roots, okay, of this quadratic equation. So what we do, we go into our part A first. Let's settle our part A, then we go into our part B. Right, if you have any question, then you can prompt in your question into the chat room here. Then I'll read your text from time to time. Okay, this is a quadratic equation. Remember, when you come to solve quadratic equation, it must be in general form. Okay, it must be in general form. Okay, the one that given to you is not in general form. So what do you need to do? You need to rearrange this one in general form. So as you rearrange this one, how do you rearrange this one? You expand. So you see the bracket, follow BODMAS, kx squared minus kx minus 5 equals to 0. This is in general form. Okay, general form. So then it say express x in terms of k. So x is here, x is here. What are you going to do with this x? Okay, if follow normal quadratic equation, x is the root, means that they ask you to look for the root. Okay, how do you look for the root? You have three ways. One is by using calculator, you factorize. Okay, if you are good for method calculation, then you can just factorize without using calculator. Okay, secondly is you use your CTS, completing the square, penyempurnaan kuasa 2. And thirdly, you use formula, okay, the rumus. So then you check on this. What are you going to do? Okay, how are you going to do this one? So finally, you decide to use formula. Okay, why you decide to use formula? Because it's easy. Formula is given in the front page. You follow that. Because you read the question, it say express x, means that they want you to look for the x. But now just because k is an unknown, so you cannot solve. So they don't ask you to solve. Instead of asking to solve, they ask you to express. So you go and get the formula. What's the formula? Formula say the x equals to negative b plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Okay, attention here. I'd like to highlight this part. Some of you, instead of writing the over, okay, instead of writing the over for the whole thing, you divide the fraction with 2a. Okay, you ignore this one. Then the whole formula is wrong. Okay, please flip open to the formula page. My class is very slow, so please flip open to the formula page and see how the formula is being written. So it's here. So it is over 2a. So when it's over 2a, it seems to be so easy for you. Then what do you do? Here, make sure that you get your A, B, C correctly. What is your A? Your A is K. Okay, your A is K. Right. What is your B? So this is your A. This is your B. So your B is negative K. Your B is negative K. Be careful here. Okay. The writing so awful. So take away this one first. Okay, B is equals to negative K. And what is your C? Our general form say the AX squared plus BX plus C equals to 0. See, this is your C. Your C is negative 5. So first of all, you need to identify your A, B, C correctly. Okay, once your A, B, C is written correctly, so what do? You get the whole thing sub into the formula. Do it slowly. 4 marks. Remember, 1 mark is of 1.5 minutes. 4 marks means that you have 6 minutes to do so. So do it slowly, but not too slow, right? So then you are going to sub the value into A. So negative, what is B? B is negative K, right? I'm going to explain to you something later. Okay, please pay attention. Negative K squared minus 4, A is K, and C is negative 5. Okay, over the whole thing, over 2A is 2K. Okay, some of you, you are very good in your operation. Instead of writing negative, you have it very fast. You do it this way, K plus minus, then you have it this way, K squared minus 4, then you have A, then you have C here, over 2K. You put it this way. Okay, when we mark your paper, okay, when marking, there is a confuse over here. Okay, then you may ask me, teacher, negative times negative, I get it positive. I operate, why it is wrong? Okay, why it is wrong? You look into your working. This one, this part you sub. Okay, you sub the value of A and C into the formula. But this part you solve. Right? So you're having two things in one line. So it is not the right way to perform. So please make sure, jot down, make a note here on here. You are substituting the value into the formula. So we would like to see the negative here. We would like to see the negative here. The negative here, the first negative here. Okay, I bring another color. Okay, the green color negative here is from the formula. Okay, and the negative, the red color negative, negative K, the negative K means that the negative is from the value of B, which is negative K. Okay, then in the bracket also the same thing. In the bracket also the same thing. We must see the negative K squared. Squared is the formula. Squared is the formula. So this one don't have to be red color. All right. So then this one, when you sub, this is the value that you sub, the K here and the negative 5. So again, I'm telling you, for this line, you are substituting the value into the formula. Substituting, you are not solving. Okay, then only you come to your line. Okay, my blue color. So K plus minus square, K squared plus 20K over 2K. Done. Your work is done. Okay, some of you, you are so careless. What do? Here, the final answer on this part, what do? You cancel this. When you cancel this, you are wrong. Okay, why do I say you are wrong? Please pay attention here. You don't take it for granted. Okay, I take away this one. If I were to break my equation of this, okay, I will break it into two terms. It will be written as equals to K over 2K plus minus square root K squared plus 20K over 2K. So when you cancel this K and this K, the whole thing run. So the outcome for this answer will be, after your cancelling, okay, after your simplifying, you'll get 1 plus minus square root K squared plus 20K over 2, which is not this, not this. Okay, remember, when you want to simplify, if you are not careful enough, you will get trapped. Okay, so then what do? Just leave your final answer as just now earlier. So I take away this one, the red color one. Hopefully that I don't erase the whole thing. Okay. Okay, I take away this one. I take away this one. Okay, you leave your answer as this. This will be your answer. Okay, this will be your answer, your final answer. This will be your final answer. Right, leave it as this. Is that clear? Okay, so then how about marks? marks will be given berapa? It depends on the marking scheme, right? So if for me, I will say that substituting 1 mark, okay, because you use the right method, the secondly will be your answer. This is how I give marks to the question. Okay, so do you have any question? You may type on the chat box so that I can read. So far, no question yet. All right. Okay. So please jot down. Marks are given here for this part. I repeat, for this part. Not only for this, whenever you do question, you solve your mathematical question, when formula is needed. Okay. So you sub the value into the formula, not solving, sub only, substitution only. Okay, sub only. Then you will get marks for that. Then only you solve. Okay, try to avoid before you sub. You want to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Okay, you want just because you're chasing after time, you thought of solving plus substituting will save lots of time. But remember, you are under pressure. You might make mistake in your 2-in-1 working. Okay, let's continue with the second one. So express K in terms of M. This is the question. Express K in terms of M. This is the working. This is the question. Express K in terms of M. This is the question. Information, 2 and M are the roots of this equation. Okay, general form. Kx squared minus Kx minus 5 equals to 0. I do not know. See, why? Those days, okay, those days before before the existing of calculator, before the K-bar question turns out, we seldom see quadratic equation in terms of algebraic. It will be number, then ask you to solve. Just because calculator will help you to solve, no matter either it can be factorized or can't be factorized. You know the Casuist calculator, you even though for formula, you key in the things, the equation into your formula. For example, differentiation and integration, you key in the equation, the next step turn out will be the answer. So to avoid that, so these are the questions, okay, that the lembaga can come up with to avoid you from using calculator. Means that you need to know the concept to solve. So I believe that I've made myself very clear to you why this kind of question is actually the same. If I give you the value of K, this question can be done easily. Okay, come back to part B. How am I going to solve this? There are 2 ways that you can solve this question. It depends what kind of mind that you have. Okay, can anyone please respond to me? What method are you going to use to solve this question? Anyone would like to respond? You can just on your mic and talk to me. You remember, in order for you to score good result, even though for mathematics or for MS, okay, minimum you should know 2 different methods, okay, to check. One is for you to solve, the other one is for you to check your answer, right? So during my class, I'll try my ever best to show you that. So by one, showing you to solve the question, and the other one is to guide you using another method, okay, to check your answer. So can anyone respond to me? What do you do? Okay, b squared. Okay, Junla say, why do you use a b squared minus 4ac? Is the question asked you to determine the types of roots, or the question is giving you the information of types of roots? The information giving you 2 roots, info 2 roots. So what is this got to do? So the question here, you see, you are using the inequality, okay, the greater than. Is the question asking you in terms of a range? Is the question asking you range? No, right? Okay, good. So thank you for joining the class. So at least you learned something, right? Good. This is what I want. So please respond to me. Remember, I keep on telling you that our class is to make sure that you have the right thinking of every single question that you see. Okay, we want to share our knowledge. Okay, who else that can respond? Junla, very good. At least you try. Any other way that you can solve? Sub m into x. Okay, Wing Sing say yes, sub m into x. So what am I going to do? So as you say that I want to sub m, okay, into x. Because when you say roots, what is in your mind that you can see it as, okay, you can see that x is equals to 2 or x is equals to m, that you can see. Am I right? This is what you see, right? So according to the information that you have earlier, so you're going to have it x minus 2 and x minus, x. See, I call x and then my hand go for m. Okay, x minus m equals to 0, right? Then what do? You have x squared, okay, x squared minus mx minus 2x plus 2m equals to 0. Right. Now, you see this. You see like terms. Okay. At this moment, you should know how to solve an equation. Ways to solve an equation. Okay. One of the working that you should group the like term. So now I'm going to group the like term. So what I have here is x squared minus x. I have m plus 2 plus 2m equals to 0. Do you agree with me? Yes or no? Please respond to me. Do you agree with me? Until here, I'm doing, Wing Sing, you're telling me that substitute, right? So I'm doing this. I'm using this method. Right. So if let's say for Wing Sing's method, then it says substitute. Okay, good. Let's follow your method. So I'll get it as k m squared minus mk minus 5 equals to 0. So Wing Sing, if you are substituting the m into x, this is what you see. You will see this, the blue color. Am I right? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. When you see this, do you see ways for you to get k in terms of m? Will you be able to see k in terms of m? Vincent, can you please tell me from the blue color, do you see? Yes, you can't see. So meaning that you cannot continue with this working. So you can patah balik and see what you can do, right? And see what you can do. So go back to this. You have the idea of telling that m is the root. Okay, so you use this method to sub it as the root, right? So then you expand, then you get this. So remember in our MMaths method, okay, one of the way for us to solve our question is by comparing. Okay, now what you can do, now you are going to compare this with this. Okay, I take away the blue color first because the blue color, it doesn't help me to solve, it did not help me to solve my question. So I'm going to compare this with this. Okay, I'm going to compare. Okay, I write down my x squared. I write down my x squared minus x in the bracket m plus 2 and then plus 2m equals to 0. Right? So can I compare? Can anybody answer to my question? Can I compare now? Can I compare? Anyone that can answer to my question? Can I compare now? Anyone? Okay, no. Jinla, why there's a question mark behind your no? No means no lah. Why there should be a question mark behind? Means that you don't have confidence in yourself. Okay, why not? Okay, no, yes, you cannot compare. Why can't you compare? Okay, very simple that you should understand. Okay, when I want to check on this, okay, I take this green color, check on this. This is K. Okay, this is Kx squared, but this is 1. The coefficient for x squared for the two equations are not the same. Okay, for this one is the one that I can check. This by one term is either the A or the B or the C. They are not consistent, right? Then they are not, I will say that they are not corresponding. Then we cannot compare. So if cannot compare, then what can I do? It's either, pay attention here, it's either that I call this one as equation 1 and I call this one as equation 2, right? It's either you add K into equation 2 by multiplying the 3 terms with K, or you eliminate the K. Okay, you eliminate this K from this equation. So it's up to you. So for me, I will eliminate my A. So how am I going to eliminate my A? The K as my A in the first equation by dividing. So I'll get K x squared. When I divide my K, I'll get x squared minus x minus 5 over K equals to 0. Meaning that I am dividing my equation of this, the whole thing here, my first equation, I divide my whole equation with K. Do you get me? Yes or no? So I divided by K, I get my x squared. K divided by K, I get it as 1. And negative 5 divided by K, I get it as negative 5 over K. So it's very simple, this step. Then you can compare. So how do you compare? So just compare and see which one that you want to compare. Okay, I take the highlighter of yellow color. So this is equivalent. X squared for the first equation and x squared for the second equation, I can compare. And then the next one, I can compare also. Okay, you see the negative x here and you see the negative x here. Meaning that for my m plus 2 will be equivalent to 1. Okay, will be equivalent to 1 over here. 1 over here. But anyhow, this doesn't involve K. So then I'm not going to use that. Then finally, you have this for the last term. So you are having it as 2m equals to negative 5 over K. And what's the question wants from you? The question says K in terms of M. So then you cross multiply the K, you cross multiply, okay, exchange the position. So you'll get it as K equals to negative 5 over 2M. Fine, you got the answer. Okay, you will get this as your answer. Okay, nah? So where is the first mark that you will get? So it's here. So you will get the first mark in here. Okay, this will be your first mark. This will be your second mark. All right. So this is one method. Okay. You see, this method, I don't involve my SOR and POR, your saw paw. Right? I don't involve my saw paw. Right? So how are you going to use your saw paw? Okay, you may use your saw paw to answer this question. Before I proceed to my SOR and POR, do you have any question that you want to ask? Anyone, do you have any question that you want to ask? Which part that it is not clear to you? Remember, when you want to compare, all the terms must be corresponding, right? The coefficient, the terms, then only compare. Otherwise, you cannot compare. So it's just like you, when I want to compare you with a person who is 26 years old, I say the 26 years old fellow is very good in MS compared to you, then it's not fair. Okay, but I can compare you with your classmate. Why your classmate can get good marks and not you? Just because you don't spend time. That's why you don't score. Right? So remember, when you want to compare, everything should be at the same level. Then only you can compare. Okay, now let's continue with our SOR, SOR and POR. So let's continue with our working. Okay, I use red color. Back to our equation. X squared minus kx minus 5 equals to 0. So then my SOR will be what? My SOR will be 1. Okay, which is you follow your formula will be negative B over A. Am I right? So your negative B is negative K and A is K. So the negative, that's why you get it as 1. So the SOR is equals to 1. Do you follow? So then my POR. My POR is negative 5 over K. Okay, because the formula says that negative C over A. C over A. Okay, formula says so, not by me. It's by the formula. Okay, C is negative 5, so K is A. Okay, fine. Okay, that one. I come back to this. What is my SOR? My SOR is 2 plus M. Okay, and this SOR is 1. So I sub the 1 with my 2 plus M is exactly what we discussed just now. We can't use this because in this term in SOR, there is no terms of K. So then I go on to my POR. My POR for this, POR, it is 2M. So the POR for this is negative 5 over K. So it's negative 5 over K equals to 2M. Again, you cross multiply. Okay, you will get your K equals to negative 5 over 2M. These are two different methods. Okay, two different methods. The first one is you get the root, you expand, you rearrange, you compare. The first method just now, you are comparing. You use the method of comparing. And this method, the second method, you are using SOR and POR. Do you get me? Please respond to me before I proceed. Yes or no? Okay, good. Okay, please jot down. Yes, Saranya. Okay, good. Thanks, Xingye, for responding. How about the rest? When I ask question yes or no, at least you respond to me. Like, but why ES also so lazy? And then I talk so much. And then I write so much. Okay, thank you for responding. Then let me have, there's two-way conversation. At least I talk, then you type. Train your finger a little bit as you are copying the note. Okay, good. Thank you for responding. Okay, Kawe, and then Hui Xin. Just now, who else? Gavin just came in. Okay, Xing Yan. Okay, Wing Xing. Okay, Wing Xing just now, the method. So Wing Xing, you got the idea, right? So please jot down. There are two ways. Just now, I show you two methods. Okay, one is by expanding the root. Get x equals to 2, x equals to m, right? You get it arranged, go backward to get your quadratic equation. You compare to the one that given. It doesn't involve SOR and POR. Okay, if you're using that method, means that you are spending longer time. Okay, longer time for that. But if let's say in exam, you are lost. So just continue doing whatever cross your mind. Okay, apa yang terlintas dalam minda anda masa peperiksaan, you tak boleh fikir dengan jalan kerja yang terpantas, jalan kerja panjang, buat sahaja. Don't waste time, right? So those who are using SOR and POR, very good. Then you think of another method to solve this question, right? Okay, good. Now I'm going to continue to our discussion. Okay, before I come to here, would like to bring you back to quadratic equation. Jot down a little bit notes lah. Kalau tidak, nanti asyik dengar saja. You need to write something. Okay, what do you learn in quadratic equation? Okay, we are talking about roots. Okay, when we are talking about roots, what is it? on the x-axis, we are talking the value here, where your y is equals to 0. That's why for quadratic equation, we demand for general form, okay, which is ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. We demand this. Okay, if it is a function, then we will see this. Instead of equals to 0, we will see it as either equals to fx or equals to y. But we are not in quadratic function. We are in quadratic equation. So if it is quadratic equation, means that it should be equals to 0, that we are looking into the value that lies here, that lies on here, on the line here. Okay, so when we are talking about this, okay, and we are talking about quadratic, we are talking about quadratic, and everyone knows that when when an equation given to you is a linear, there is a straight line. So quadratic is either is a U shape or N shape, right? Everybody, this is by mathematics, so you should handle this good enough. So when we are talking about this, let's say I take my A as positive. For example, I take the value of A as positive. When A is positive, it should be a U-shaped graph. So this means that I have two roots, right? I have two roots. How to determine that equation? An equation, quadratic equation has two roots. As what Junle said just now, we use b squared minus 4ac to determine. Okay, if the value of b squared minus 4ac, you sub the a, you sub the b, you sub the a, you sub the c into b squared minus 4ac from the quadratic equation that you determine your a, b, c, sub into here, there are three. Okay, either one of the three. Okay, salah satu daripada tiga ini. That the value that turn up, okay, the value that it turn out, it might be greater than 0, means that it's positive. Okay, or the value that turn out, okay, it might be equals to 0, or the value after you sub and then you solve, you might get it as 0. So these three cases happen. When these three cases happen, what does it indicating? Okay, I give you the three lines here, and I take A as positive. So you can see, okay, I use other color. Okay, I use other color. Okay. So you see, the red U curve, okay, intersect the red line. The red line is my x-axis. Okay, if you want it to be detailed, so this is my x-axis. Okay, so then I shall see two intersecting points here. Okay, this one shows that my b squared, my discriminant, b squared, we name it after discriminant. Is for us to discriminate. Okay, menentusahkan, kita nak tahu dia punya beza layan tu apa, nak bezakan. How to bezakan? We use this one, pembeza layan. So the value for this, when we sub into here, we will get it as positive. The value that turned out is positive. So means that it has two roots. So for when it is equals to 0, means that this equation having two equal roots. Two roots, actually they have two roots, but this curve has turned out two also the same thing. Okay, x1 is 2, x2 is also 2. And this one is from your b squared minus 4ac equals to 0. Okay, when b squared minus 4ac is less than 0, means that your graph is hanging, not touching. Okay, at the same time, if let's say my A is negative, your graph should go this way. I use green color. It will this way. Two intersecting point. Okay, one intersecting point and no intersecting point. Okay, this is what you know. This is what you should know. Okay, using discriminant, to determine types of root. Okay, two types of root, two different root, two equal root, or no root, right? Okay, that is your first part. Any question you want to ask? If you have any question, then you may ask me now as I am talking. Okay, then after that, we should proceed to our alpha and beta. What is our alpha and beta? Our alpha, actually our calculator don't have alpha beta. Our calculator will show that this is x1, this is x2. So what is alpha beta? Alpha beta, they are the roots. They are the value of roots. If they give you the value, then they are value. If they don't give you value, then it will be in terms of alpha beta unknown. What's alpha beta? Alpha beta, they are unknown. Right? Okay. So this is the first part. Okay, I finished this one. Okay, before I proceed, okay, beside that we use 3 for our quadratic equation. For our quadratic equation, just now I did mention to solve this. Solve means that you are looking for the root. Okay, you are looking for the root. So to solve this by using calculator is one of the method. Okay, then by using CTS. Tomorrow we will be using CTS, right? Now, then after that we use formula. Formula, remember, when the equation given you ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0, the formula should be x equals to negative b plus minus b squared minus 4ac over 2a. But when the equation given to you as ay squared plus by plus c, remember your subject of the formula should change to y. Otherwise, the whole process of your working, even though the value that turned out is correct, you get 0. You get 0, 0, 0. This is 0, not the 3. You get 0 mark. 0. You see the 0? Right? Because you give the wrong subject. Right? So subject is very important. So I will encourage you for your working for paper 2, or in fact for paper 1 also the same thing. Towards the last, please place the subject equals to your answer. Okay, there should be a subject that equals to. Don't just equal. Where's your subject? Tak ada subject. Then you might lose your mark. Okay, that one I don't guarantee lah. So if I have told you that, so you have to beware. Okay, besides using these 3 methods, please take note. Who knows that it might be in your paper later, ask you to list. Jot down, please take your paper. Today I've forgotten to ask you to prepare your paper. Okay, beside this one, remember in your NMATs, in your Form 4, Chapter 2, there are few ways that you learn. Is by one, as the first method to get the root is by substituting. Substituting. The second method is by try and error. Try and error. And then the third one, that you try and error, you have to be, at least these are the 3 methods: factorization, CTS, and formula. These are the method that we can write and save time on it. But if you are using substitution and try and error method, then there will be lots of time that you are going to spend. So, but anyhow, then you may ask me, teacher, is this very important? Who knows that in your paper they asked you, there's one question asked you, please list the method that can be used to solve a quadratic equation. They got 4 space. 4 lines for you to fill in. Then you know 3 only. Factorization, CTS. CTS, what is CTS? You don't write CTS. You need to write completing the square. Penyempurnaan kuasa 2. Jangan tulis CTS. People will not know what is CTS. CTS is by teaching that teacher want to get it fast, so we write CTS. For you to fill up, it should be completing the square, and make sure that you know how to spell the word. And then another one is formula. And what is the answer that you're going to place for the 4th answer? Try and error method lah. Or you say penggantian. You let x become 1, see whether you get the equation balance or not. Then you try x with 2. That is substitution. That we try and error lah. We substitute lah one by one, right? Okay, fine. For this, if I were to form hot question, I will trap you by that. Okay, let's continue with our question here. This is the question. Okay, derive the quadratic formula given that this. They ask you to derive this formula. So how are you going to derive this formula? Okay, how are you going to derive this formula? Then you say, teacher, the formula is given. Why should I derive? Before you get this formula, remember of our NMAX, the formula will not jump up just like that. The formula will not just prompt to you like that. The formula, there should be a history that where is this formula come from. So this is the equation that given to you. Okay, how are you going to make sure that this is the method that we use? One of the method. This is one of the method that we use to look for the root. X is the root. Okay, the value that suit this quadratic equation. So they ask you to derive. How are you going to start? Okay, start with your paper, jot down the things that I'm going to tell you. Now it's already, I got another 10 minutes. I think today we can finish until here only. So what we do, start with this one. So we are going to start with ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. We are going to start with our completing the square. Okay, so what I do, I break out this one equals to a negative c. Okay, negative x. Okay, so then just because for me to make my factorization easier, so what I do, I will divide my whole term with a. I just want to make sure that my x squared, the coefficient here is 1. That's all. Okay, to make my life easier. If you can handle this one without dividing, go ahead. Okay, it won't harm you. So, but to make my life easier, I'll do it this way. So I'll get x squared plus b over ax equals to negative c over a. So this is what I get. So what am I going to do? I need the space here, so I take away this. So then I come up here. So I look into here. My attention is on here. I want to factorize this. Okay, I want to factorize this. So this is how I factorize. And I want this one to be factorized when I expand the blue bracket square. When I expand the blue bracket square, I'll get back this. Okay, so if you are good in your factorization of this, okay, you will get it as a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Okay, this is how you expand this. This is your basic in Form 3 or Form 2, Form 3, I think, that you learn this. So of this case, I'm going to use this method to fit into my this. So shortcut the story. So the bracket squared, you take one of the x here, follow me. So you take one of the x here. Maybe I use black color that you can see. I take x here, I place the x here. Right? Secondly, this is the first step. I take x. The squared is already outside the bracket. So I take x only. And then secondly, the second step, I take the operation. I take the operation. If the operation is negative, I take negative. If the operation is positive, I follow. Okay, then after that, for this term, do you see the 2 here? I need to eliminate the 2. So when I eliminate the 2, I need to divide. So it will be b over 2a. So when I expand, okay, after that, you see this one. When I expand this one, I have extra this. I need to take it away. So what I do, I'm going to remove. I'm going to remove this one. Okay, even though for this, if this is minus, but yet this is plus. So I need to minus what? B squared over 4a squared. All right. So you may ask me, teacher, are you sure? Okay, let's check on this. I'm going to expand this bracket. I'm going to expand this bracket and see. So I expand the blue color with the black expression in it. So I have it as x squared plus 2. Remember just now I said that the a 2ab. So b over 2a, right? This is what I have. Then I plus my b squared, okay, over 2a. This is the whole thing in the blue bracket. Okay, the whole thing in the blue bracket that I expand. Then for the red color, I follow 4a squared. Okay, wait, I missed out something here. So this is wrong. So b squared means that this is 4. Because squared, huh? B squared. So it's b squared over 2a squared means that it's 4a squared. Okay, fine. When I expand, you can see that this and this is cancelled out. This and this is cancelled out. Right? So left behind this. When you rearrange, you see x squared plus b over ax. This is the one that I want in the green color. Okay, I'm now telling you the expression on the left hand side only. Okay, so this is how you do. Okay, let's come back to the story to make it very fast. So this is my expression. Okay, until here. So I know that this is the method that I factorize. Okay, on this part, this is the factorization that I do. This is the factorization that I do on this part. Okay, the factorization on this part, on the left hand side. So then it is equal to negative c over a. Okay, then you rearrange. You start to you have your subject x here. You have your subject x here. So just because it's an expression, so you remain this one first. Squared equals to minus c over a plus b squared over 4a squared. Operate. Take the red color negative on the left hand side, operate onto your right hand side, make it positive. And as you know that because it's a fraction, you need to make the denominator the same. So what do you have? You have it as negative 4ac plus b squared over 4a squared. Do you follow me? This is the one that you make the denominator the same. So this one times 4a, this one times 4a, that you get this. Then after that, you remove the squared. You remove the squared by adding square root on this side, plus minus. Okay, plus minus. Now, this is a process that you need to learn. If it turns out in your paper, habis. If you don't pick up the skill, this is very easy for you to score. Okay, then after that, what do? As what you have learned, okay, come back here. It will be x plus b over 2a. The plus minus break into 2. You will get this one equals to plus minus sign. Bring in front the positive. B minus 4ac over 2a. Because of this, when you square root, you will get 2a. Right? Okay, nah? Then after that, you should be able to see your answer. X equals to, operate this positive onto your right hand side, negative b over 2a plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Make the denominator the same. You'll get 2a minus b plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac. You already derived the formula. Do you follow me? Please respond a bit. Can you? Yes, okay, good. So later I'll be having this video and post into my YouTube as well. So if you think that you cannot follow, then you go back to the YouTube and watch from YouTube, right? Just go to YouTube and look for my name. I'll post the video into YouTube for you. Okay, one more question. So this is the question that you may get. You may get. Is it difficult? X to the power of 4 minus 2x squared minus 3 equals to 0. How do you solve this? Okay, then you say, teacher, our syllabus, the highest power is power 2 quadratic. Even though for cubic also we do not learn the factorization. How am I going to learn this one as factorization? If this case happen, then what do? You need to think of a method. Okay, think of, for this, I can write it as this. Play around with the index. Play around with the index. Then you let your x squared become a, let's say. So you will get a squared minus 2a minus 3 equals to 0. Now, do you have any problem? No more. In fact, for this, it's very simple for you to factorize. Okay, so this one will be minus 3 and plus 1. So your a is equals to -1, or a is equals to, see, I say a, but my hand go for x. Okay, a equals to 3. But remember, a is not in the equation. Given in the equation is x. So where did the a come from? Just now you say let. Okay, so remember you need to return. So return the x. Okay, return the x to replace a. So x squared equals to -1. Okay, when x squared equals to -1, it is not in your syllabus. You do not learn x squared equals to -1. Okay, what is x squared equals to -1 is actually imaginary number. Something that you imagine, something that is in the 5th dimension, the 4th dimension, the 4th and 5th dimension. What is it? I'm not going to touch on this. So remember, when you have x squared equals to -1, then no. But x cubed equals to -1, yes, your x is a -1. -1 times -1, you get +1. +1 times -1, you get -1. I remember that. X cubed, yes. But x squared equals to -1 is imaginary number. Okay, imaginary. What is imaginary? Okay, I give you lah. So this is I. But it's not in your syllabus, so we ignore. So in your working, you just write ignore. Habis cerita. Then you come back to here. X squared equals to 3. So then your x equals to plus minus square root 3. Okay, done. Finished. Do you see how easy is this? Okay. So now, if you go through the exercise, okay, if you go through the exercise and you see question of this kind that nobody is next to you to help you to do the factorization. Okay, let me bring you here. Okay, for me to share with you. Where am I? Okay, I share my screen just now. Okay, you go to your, this one, here. Do you see my screen? Where am I now? I go into graphing calculator. This graphing calculator is named after Symbolab, Symbolab. Okay, so I write for you here. Symbolab. Okay. You take down your pen. You write yourself. Okay, Symbolab here. Where is he? Okay, SYM. Okay, SYMBOLAB. Why it is so special beside the photo math? Okay, photo math. Okay, that I did tell you before. So this is one way. You key in the equation. This is the equation that I key in, that I did manually to you all just now. So if let's say you don't have anybody that's sitting next to you, you key in the equation into here or into your photo math, either one. Okay, then you click at the side here, click at the counter, the magnifying glass here. So click here, you will see the solution that turns out. So they will tell you what is the answer, and then they will guide you one by one. So you say let. So this is the let. Let your u be x squared. So u squared, I let my x squared be a, but this solution let the x squared be u. So if my x squared is u, means that my x power 4 will be a squared. So here is u squared. So the same process going on here. So then you can see the working one by one. Okay, solve and then factorize, then you will see two answers. So this is what I meant by imaginary number. X squared equals to -1. So x equals to I, x equals to -I. Because of plus minus the square root. So you have positive imaginary and negative imaginary. What is imaginary? It's just a symbol. That number that you imagine, it can be any number. It can be alien as well. Okay, then the next answer that you can write for your syllabus is of this. X is positive square root 3. X is of negative square root 3. Okay? So, any comment? Give some comment. Okay, Anna? Okay, understand, teacher. Okay. Gavin, yesterday you didn't turn in, huh? Okay. At least, luckily today you are here. Okay? So, if there's nothing, so our class, see, 1 hour is very fast. You just need to sit down in front of me, take a pen and jot down a little bit. So at least there is a thinking skill. Don't you agree with me? At least there is a thinking skill there. If you have idea to solve the question, you prompt to me, I will explain. That's all. I just want to share the knowledge. Make sure that in the exam, you don't feel so stressed. Okay? Okay. I forgive you. This is Sishin. Sishin, you, huh? Since when you become Miss Gan? Wow, you very great. Tomorrow you take over Miss Gan's place, okay? So Sishin is going to handle quadratic function tomorrow instead of Gan Fei Ting. So Sishin is going to take over. Right. So if there's nothing, so that's all our class ends here. Anything they want to say? You may say before you leave. Don't forget your attendance. Haha, Puan Yu dah ketawa. Okay, so it's a very relaxing period. So please encourage your friends to turn in, because my slot, I believe, is totally different from others. Do you agree? So at least enhance your thinking, because it might be in your hot question as well. At least help you a little bit how to handle yourself during that time. So if no, then we end our class here. I will say thank you for your attendance. So I shall see you tomorrow. Follow the same link. Don't forget, tomorrow at 10 o'clock, you see me in NTV 7. See how I talk about mathematics. Right? So, okay, good night, guys.
Good night, Puan Gan. Thank you.
Yeah, good night. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Kena pergi dulu. I nak pergi toilet.
Okay, go.
Bye.
Thanks. Okay.
Bye.
When you see, she is so professional.
Yalah.
We
Okay,
really
bye-bye.
give you support. You should go and tell your
Okay.
friends.
Bye-bye. Thank you
Okay,
guys
bye.
semua. Bye.
Yes, bye. Boleh, you can leave the room.